Super. Okay, so let's begin. Welcome to everyone that is not live but is listening to us thanks to the marvelous advancements of technology. My name is Adan Aguilar. I am from Mexico City. I'm a philosopher, I'm a teacher, and of course, member of the Lay Combonian Missionaries from Mexico and also from Poland. The purpose of this gathering, because it's not a lecture, is more, I would love to have it more like a workshop. So in a moment, I will give you some suggestions to follow up the questions that I will be suggesting you, the tools that I will be showing you. There are some diagrams, some even at the end of this session, I will present to you, maybe you know it already, but a nice business model so that we can organize or have a nice framework to organize our projects. The main reason of having this conversation is that sometimes when we are preparing some projects in our communities or parishes or with our associations, we think about our missionary work mainly in terms of it's my vocation, I want to help, the Lord is calling me in this way or another, but we forget to think about our mission in a very specific way of this is a project. I have to be accountable. I need to have goals. I need to communicate in a certain way. I need to plan in a certain other way. We need to be leaders. And when I say leaders, human leaders, like CEOs, like presidents, like Congress people, we need to be leaders in what we do. And the thing about our vocation as missionaries is that sometimes we forget about the human part of the mission. Sometimes we are in the middle of many tasks and many things to do. We have these to-do lists, no? That every day we know, I have to do this, I have to pay that, I have to go talk with these people. But we are missing this planning, this preparation, this forecast of what is going on. So I will be sharing with you these tools for project planning in one hand and for marketing or promoting of our projects in another way, so that these plans and these tools help us to have better projects and also, and very importantly, to promote them towards people that can give us funds. So like fundraising. Okay, so this is the beginning or the tip of the iceberg of so many tools and so many topics that we can discuss in the future to make our projects better with yeah. So to make our projects better with bigger scopes, with the more specific goals, etc. How are we going to be organizing this conversation? I love not only I don't have a problem. I love when you open your mic and you say, Adan, I don't get it, or I think you're wrong, or I have this question. So please feel perfectly comfortable opening your microphone, talking to me directly. Let's have a conversation. If you prefer, you can write also in the chat. I'm checking the chat all the time. So maybe your question appears in the chat and I can answer it whenever I finish the topic that I'm mentioning, and then the others can also check it. So it will be nice. And also I would like to go like pretty with a nice dynamic right now. We are beginning 15 past the hour, so I will try to finish at the hour so that we have, like 15 minutes to talk. Maybe you have some questions, conversations, maybe you want some suggestions, or maybe actually you have some nice examples of what you have done that can be useful for all the others. No? So that would be even better to have this moment of sharing. So that's about the content. About the dynamics that I would like to have with you, my dear sisters and brothers. You know these kind of little papers called post-its? You know them, no? I believe you have them. I hope that you can have some little notebook or post-its or a place where you can write. But the idea of this paper is that it's small, because I will be suggesting you some questions that you may answer in a very specific way. We are trying to exercise our synthetic capabilities. So if I ask you, for example, there are a magic that is in Kenya, and you have your lovely team there, and I'm saying hi again. No, if I ask one of you guys, okay, explain me your project, maybe you will go, no, well, I do this, I do that, we have prepared this, and we take 10 minutes explaining one project. Well, the idea is we have to have the ability to explain everything that we do in one little piece of paper. So if you have something to write there, it will be perfect, because I will be sharing with you some questions. And if you have post-its, like these little notes that you can stick, or maybe you take one piece of paper and you cut it in little pieces, it will be better. Because in the end, I will show you this nice map that is called the business canvas model. I don't know if you know it already, and if not, don't worry, I will show it to you and explain it to you. But these papers are very useful, because if you have these little papers, you can take them and then put them in the diagram in the canvas model that I'm going to share with you. Okay. As for now, is everything clear? Do I need to explain something else? You can also use these reactions that you have here in the, I don't know if you know them. For example, no, I don't know the reactions that I can use. I can raise my hands. I can put like thumbs up or something. So whenever you need something like this, you can use it, and I will check it. Okay. So let's begin. Yeah, and please, if there's something that is not quite clear from my part, with all the confidence and naturality that we are a family, please tell me, Adan, shut up, and I will. Okay, so I'm listening to you, my sisters and brothers. Okay, so entrepreneurship, purpose plus people, is even like a gameplay for me, and that's what I'm going to be sharing with you. Every project has to be built in these two pillars. How do we accomplish our purpose, and how do we relate to people inside the organization and to people outside the organization? That's it. That's the big summary, and of course, that's the big complexity of any project. That's why I will be going to recommend you some tools for planning better our purpose and our objectives and our, like daily operation, and also some strategies to connect with people, to interact with people, to have a real leadership. Let's begin. First, whenever anyone is talking about any project, it could be a company, it could be a business, it could be, of course, our work as missionaries. It could be something in the, I don't know, in politics, in art, in sports, whatever. Any project, any activity needs or can be described or explained in these two ways. No, what do we do? Core activity. And what do we need to do it? Resources. Any company, if you think about, I don't know, a cell phone company, you will, I don't, mine is Huawei, but maybe you have Apple or whatever. No, there are some things that they do, and there are some things that they charge, so they continue to do what they do. Everyone. So this is the very basis of any project planning. In my opinion, I think we have to go a little bit deeper. We have to change our mindset, so that we are not talking only about activities and resources, because this is a very mechanical way of thinking about a project. What we do is not only a set of activities that have a different cost. What we do actually is to push forward a dream, to push forward and to work towards a purpose and to build this purpose or this dream with people. That's the secret of any successful project, to think about purpose and to think about people. What do I mean with purpose? What's the core thing, the core belief that we have? Why do you exist as a project, as an organization, as a company? Why do we exist? It's funny because when we think about this purpose, we could say, oh, well, the purpose is what we do. No, purpose is not what we do, is why we do it. That's the root of purpose. Even now that we are all part of this beautiful family of missionaries, we could say, well, of course, we are following our vocation. We are following the commandment of God to go all over the world and spread the gospel and the good news. Yes, but specifically, what is my purpose? What's the problem that you want to solve in life? What are you passionate about? And when I say you as a person, but also you as a team, you as a group, what moves us? That's what we have to answer when we think about our purpose. And when we have that, we will get, okay, so if we have this purpose, this belief, this, I don't know, engagement with something superior and transcendent, that's when we connect with people. So you know that you are not doing something, or you are not, I don't know, checking some tasks in your list of tasks, but actually you are connecting with people. You are building things together. Great companies, great teams, great countries or towns or cities, they work and they success when they connect between each other. So with this in mind, what I'm suggesting you is to organize some recommendations in 3 moments, okay? First moment, some recommendations about planning. So how do I identify my purpose and then translate it in objectives? That would be planning. Then, how do I make my purpose appealing to everyone inside my team and outside? For example, when we go and ask for funds, we are selling things, where we are convincing people to come with us. That's connection. And in the end, a little recommendation about how to synthesize everything in a specific scope where we can organize everything that is concerning our project. So those are the 3 main moments that I will be sharing with you. Okay, what do I need? Forget about the number 3, the synthesis part. As for now, don't worry about it. For the first 2, I need you to have 2 little, maybe 2 sheets, paper pieces, or maybe a couple of little papers for the planning, and then a couple of papers for the connection. Because the recommendations I'm going to give you, I will be giving you some questions so that you can answer in a very brief way, maybe only a sentence, even maybe a word. Super. And with that, we have a word, we have a sentence. We will be building the planning first, then the strategy for connection in the second, and then, of course, the synthesis. Everyone is okay with this? Thumbs up, thumbs down? Okay? Super. Let's go. First, let's enter to planning. Does anyone know who's this guy, Viktor Frankl? Why he's famous? What's maybe the name of his most famous book? I don't know if you guys know it. Please tell me if you do. Who knows this guy? Viktor Frankl. I don't know, Jose, if you know Viktor Frankl. Or maybe there, Linda. Anyone knows? You don't know it? Okay, don't worry. This is a very famous author. Let me tell you a little bit about his story because it's something. Yeah, well, I'm beginning in a kind of a tough note, but well, I will tell you. Viktor Frankl was an Austrian psychiatrist, but he was also a member of the Jewish community in Austria during the Second World War. So you can imagine what happened to him? He was taken to the concentration camps. Actually, he was taken specifically to Auschwitz in Poland. Imagine that you are there in the concentration camp. You are passionate about helping people, helping them to be healthy, mentally healthy. He was a student of Freud and the school of psychiatry that Sigmund Freud created. And when he arrived there in the concentration camp, of course he couldn't say, "Come on, I'm a doctor. I cannot do I don't know a manual job or something." No, no. Of course, he was treated completely as a prisoner. He was bullied. He was suffering a lot. He noticed something. It was interesting because first he wanted to survive. Of course, everyone wants to survive, but he noticed that people were failing to survive, not because they were weak or not because they were getting sick, but because they were not having a purpose. They were not having a why. Why do you want to continue living? And actually, he wrote a book. Let me put the name of the book here in the chat group because I think it's very, very important. The name of the book is The Man in Search of Meaning by Viktor Frankl. It's a book that it's very easy to read, and I really recommend it to you because the first half of the book is written as a memoir of everything that he was suffering during these days in the concentration camp before the concentration camp was liberated by the other army. No? And then the second half of the book, he reflects on his experiences, and he says everyone that was having something or someone to live for, those were the people surviving. Not the strongest, not the most aggressive, nor the smartest, or the one that were capable of stealing food for them or something. No, it was the people that were having a why. So I'm putting this in front because maybe it's an important mindset to take into consideration. Sometimes in the daily basis, in our daily life, we get drowned by the many things that we have to do. I have to go there, I have to go to do this, to send this email, to have this call, to have this meeting. No, we are in the do, but we don't have a moment to stop, listen, make silence, and ask ourselves, why am I doing this? So this is a lesson we can take from Viktor Frankl. And this reminds me about a nice anecdote that was explained by a philosopher in the Middle Ages, and it's a nice story. I will tell it to you. It's a very simple, but maybe it shows better what are we trying to think about here. There was one teacher that was walking nearby a construction, and he saw three stonemasons. The three of them, they were picking stone. The three of them, exactly the same type of stones. No, one next to other, they were picking stones. So this professor, he asked the first guy, "What are you doing?" And he said, "I pick stone. I'm picking stone." I'm trying to fit this stone to the wall, so I have to, I don't know, to use my mace to break it a little bit. Okay. He continued walking. He arrived to the second stonemason and he asked, "What are you doing?" And he said, "I'm obeying the foreman. The foreman, the boss, told me to pick these rocks to fit in the wall." Okay, no? One, the first one is more focused on the task. Super, okay, it's working. It's solving some problem specific. Okay. The second one goes to another level. He's following orders. So it's not only picking the stone, but picking the stone because someone has a vision and you are following this vision. It's a deeper meaning. It's a better meaning. But the professor that was walking next to this building, he was not convinced, or maybe he was not satisfied. And he continued and he saw another guy and he asked him, "What are you doing?" And he said, "I'm glorifying God because we are building a cathedral." Wow, this is a change. He was still picking stone. He was obeying the same leader, the same foreman that the other two, but he was convinced that his job, even if it was a specific, humble, very simple job, was being part of something greater, a purpose, glorifying God through the building of this cathedral. And if you, I don't know if you have seen some pictures, some photographs of these very big cathedrals in Europe, no? They were building these cathedrals for 200 years, 300 years. Imagine, no? They were taking centuries. A guy picking a stone, he may never see the cathedral being completed. And anyway, one of those people, he or she, I don't know, no? They were having the vision of what I do is important because it's answering to a bigger meaning, to a bigger purpose. So the first question that I would love to have you to respond in a very brief way is this one. What's the purpose of your activity, of your project, of what you do? What's your purpose? I'm not asking you what do you do daily. I'm not asking you what are you interested on, or what are your dreams or passions or plans for the future. I'm asking you what's the main engine, the main motivation that is taking you out of the bed daily. That's the thing. And if you're struggling to answer it, it's okay because it's super difficult. It's almost impossible to have it in a, you know, in an instant. I want to help you with this question because it's a big question. I don't know if you consider that this question it's important. I want to hear you. Do you think this to having a clear mind about my purpose in life and as a missionary is important or not? I don't see your faces. Move me a little bit like cartoons. Yes, super. Thank you. Thank you, Rosa, Micaela. Thank you, guys in Kenya. It's important. It's essential for our development as a community, as a project, as whatever. So let's enter to this question and let's try to understand how the question works. I want to suggest you to use this famous diagram. I don't know if you know it from before. This diagram is called the Golden Circle. It's created by Simon Sinek. Simon Sinek is an American author that and also speaker that talks a lot about leadership and many other psychological topics. I really like his videos. Actually, if you have some time, maybe you can find try to search for him in YouTube. He has a lot of videos in YouTube. you search for Simon Sinek. Even you can put golden circle, and of course he will explain this circle in a much better way than I'm doing right now. But well, I'm trying my best. So this guy, it's interesting because he has found a very simple formula to ask ourselves to or to help ourselves to answer to this question, the question of our why. And he begins with this idea. Everyone, or almost, well, everyone knows what they do. I mean, in this circle, no? Everyone knows this. Everyone knows the what. Everyone. Only some of us know what, how do we do that we are different from others. Everyone knows what do we do. Yeah, I do this, I'm in charge of that, etc. Only a little bit of people know the how, but very few know the why. And it's very sad because when you are like this, it's like, well, you don't have the opportunity to to really think about the why. For example, he puts this example. Imagine a technological company. A technological company, they can say, what do you do? We sell computers. Okay. How do you make your computers? Well, we try to use materials that are cheap so that we can offer our products in an affordable way. Okay. And why do you do things like that? Well, I don't know, because we want money. Money or funds in our case, because we're not a company, but we are missionaries, the fundraising should not be our purpose. Money or resources, it's a result of fighting and building my purpose. Is that clear? Because sometimes we get confused a lot. No, I don't know. I'm in the middle of organizing. For example, I was telling you, no, that last weekend we were organizing a nice picnic with lay missionary companies in Poland, and of course the money was a big issue. Like we need the money to rent some tents because maybe it will be raining, so when we need tents, we need a coffee machine to offer coffee to the people that are going. We need to rent a nice stage because we are inviting a band to play. We need to pay to this band. We need money to buy some food to offer to the people. So money, 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 and everyone, like money, money, money. But if we focus only about money, we are not focusing on the purpose. We are focusing on the results. If we focus on the why, our communication changes. And Simon Sinek, with this same example, he says, imagine that a technological company tells you what they do, how they do it, but the why is not very clear. There will be no motivation for you to buy a computer or a cell phone from them. But if we do something like this, we begin with the why. For example, he puts this example. Apple, the company for iPhones and iPad and Mac, all of these things, they begin always with a why. Everything we do, we believe in changing the things that are right now. We believe in changing the status quo. We believe in the why. This helps us to make technological products that are easy to use and beautifully designed. That's why we sell computers and we sell, I don't know, phones. Do you want to buy one? And it's like, yes, you are convincing me, not because the phone looks amazing, but because I trust you, because I believe in what you believe. So we begin from the inside to the outside, from the why to the what. That's how we should be organizing our plan, organizing any project that we want to create, or any project that we already have, but we have to transform it. So the question that I was telling you. First little piece of paper. Start with why always, okay? So we will be always starting with why. What's your motivation? What do you believe? Why do you do what you do? It should be a little sentence that can fit in a little paper. You don't need, no, Adan, let me tell you the story of my people. And you go, no, we began 50 years ago because there was someone that created and had this idea, blah, blah, blah. No, directly to the point. Why do you do what you do? That would be the why. When you have this very clear, and of course, I'm happy to see people that are in a team, no, that you are with more people. It would be nice if you are in the same project to actually talk about these things. Okay, I believe our why, our purpose is this one, and maybe someone else says, I don't know. I believe that our purpose is another thing, and then the other another thing. Beautiful. I hope that's why we are recording this session. I hope that with this session you can go with your team, with your groups, with your family even, because this is also working for personal growth. Like, why are we together as a family? And of course you answer this question. I hope that you can go to your community, to your group, to your parish, etc., and have a nice dialogue with talking about this. Why do we do what we do? Because sometimes we don't have the time to pause, to stop and listen to ourselves and actually understand what is going on in the other side. In the other side, I'm telling like in the other person, in the other side of the dialogue. Okay? Why? Second question. If we already have the why, you have to choose or you have to define how do you do it? What makes you different? Maybe you are passionate about, I don't know, giving kids the opportunity to eat well. And that's your project, no? A nutrition camp for kids. Super, beautiful. Your motivation to prevent starvation. Beautiful. Okay. How do you do it? Because there are many ways of doing it. Maybe you, I don't know, you get donations of nice food for the kids. Or maybe you are a spectacular chef and you cook very nicely for them. Or maybe you, I don't know, you go and give money to the parents so that they can buy nice food for the kids. I don't know. How do you do it? What's your specific style? What's your seal? Okay. And afterwards, when you have the purpose and you have your style, your how, the what is very easy. The what is the results, the proofs, the specific steps that you will be following to do one thing or another. So now you don't have this this flooding of many things to do. I don't know. As soon as you notice that one of your activities is not following or is not helping you to accomplish your purpose, you take it out. That's it. So this is a very nice way to organize ourselves, to organize our minds. If you manage to, for example, I don't know, maybe it will be a nice activity to have a nice wall and you put there in the center the why and then in the surrounding the how and then the what and everyone watches it. Or maybe you can draw this in a blackboard, in a whiteboard. Beautiful. Because you are having it in a graphic way. Okay? So these are the questions that I would like to do. I will go next, the next step because we're a little bit tough on time, but let me show you an example of a real project that I was having in Mexico City. Okay, in Mexico City, before belonging to the lay missionary of Comboni, I was working with my university where I studied and then where I became a teacher. And we were helping a parish. This parish was having a nice after school institute. So the kids would go to whatever school they were going, because it was in the city. So there were many schools. But then after the school, they were going to the parish in this little student center, and they will be having activities like I don't know. My students were volunteering to help the kids to solve their homeworks, to play some games, to play some sports, to learn some musical instruments, to paint, and also we were having a time later we had the opportunity to have a nice dining room, so we were offering them nice food because of course the kids were coming from very poor neighborhoods, so they were not having nice nutrition. So we were offering them activities, food, counseling, even psychological services for the family, so many things. It really grew up so much that now it's a beautiful project. And and we were worried about these kids because these kids, they were, in these poor neighborhoods, and maybe they were dropping out of school, maybe they were joining some gangs, no, some delinquent gangs, and it was very sad, it was very dangerous, of course. And we noticed that it's not that you need them to, I don't know, to put them in their home and tell them you cannot leave your home. No, no, give them opportunities, give them activities, and they will answer. And they were doing spectacular things. We had soccer teams. We had a little concert of the kids that were learning some instruments. They were improving in their grades in the school. So it was a nice project. And we followed these steps because of we were being advised by some very nice professors that were having experience in these topics. So we did like this. We went forward and we were answering these questions. So why? The why should be engaging for you because it's your motivation. Because even if your purpose is not motivating you, you won't do it. Even if it's a very nice idea and you have a nice plan and the numbers are very clear, if you are not convinced, you won't go. As simple as that. And of course, transcendent, something that is ambitious. If you are telling me, I invite you to a project, what's the project? We will give food to one family one day, and that's it. Well, okay, yeah, I can help you, but it's not that you're inviting me to be part of something bigger. No, like eh, right now, I'm telling you to be something transcendent. So that this was our why. We are passionate. Look at the words we were using. Passionate, passionate about the possibilities. Actually, we were be joking with our team like PP, passionate possibilities, and we were, how's your PP? How's your we were saying that. I'm sorry for the bad joke, but how's your PP? Passionate possibilities, always passion and possibilities. It was something in our mind, even like a motto, like a slogan, passionate possibilities. No, we were passionate about the possibilities of a better life through education. So it was passion and possibilities, or possibilities and education. That was our why. That was our purpose. With this clear, and when everyone was clear on this, of course, we were inviting people. They were coming from different faculties and different studies and different backgrounds. We didn't care as long as they were engaged with this purpose. With this having it clear, well, of course, we show them the how, specific how. It deepens the why. It makes the purpose, the why, possible. So what was our style? We emphasized the integral education, like the comprehensive approach to the human experience. That was our style, to be always comprehensive. So I don't know, maybe we could have these possibilities through education and maybe only have a workshop in computers or in mathematics. That was not our deal, because our main goal was to foster these possibilities through education by offering an integral, an organic, a comprehensive approach. So if one kid was very smart and was having very good grades, but we noticed that was having medical problems or was having some psychological problems, we will stop him or her from doing their homework because it was more important for to have a mental health or physical health. Maybe there was one group of kids that were I don't know having a very nice opportunity to have nice grades and so on. So people were saying, do not accept them in this group. But we saw that they were suffering from bullying in the school. So we took them, even if they were having a little bit more money, or maybe they were eating better or whatever. No, maybe they were going to a private school, but they were suffering from bullying. We took them because our purpose, our mission was to enhance these possibilities of education, and it was our style, integral education. And then, of course, as an example, we have the what. What did we do? And this is important. It should be defined, so specific, and also hierarchical. What is more important? Because we were offering a comprehensive plan of activities for this after school institution. Okay, lunch, homework, sports, arts, spiritual guidance, medical guidance, psychological guidance, many things. But of course, there were some things that were more important than the others. We could have these very nice computers that we got through a donation. But if the kids are not eating well, we cannot continue. So the main focus was first, they should be eating very well. And then we focus on the other things. Then we focus on, I don't know, buying some violins so that they learn to play violin. By the way, I play the cello. So I was also teaching cello to the kids there. So, I was part of the process, and I knew that sometimes my class was not the most important because we knew that there were some other activities that were more important. How do we decide what is more important? With this plan? Why? Then how? Then what? So, first suggestion finished. What do you think? Is it clear? Do you need me to maybe explain some other things to go deeper? Because from this point on, I will be going kind of in a more agile dynamic to explain you some other suggestions to have objectives, to express yourself with this plan. But this is the main, the core, the core contents that we need to have prepared. Okay. So if you have a question, of course, please stop me. And if not, I continue. We have our why. Then we have our style, the how. And then we organize our specific activities, the what. How do we build a sustained project? How do we build a sustained activity with goals, with specific objectives that translate this vision that I'm presenting you, why, how, and what? This is a vision. Translate this vision into specific things to do in a time, in a place, with specific resources. And this, my dear friends, is where we remember the famous SMART goals. I believe that some of you may be familiar with these SMART goals. It's very typical. I'm taking this from the business world, but it's very useful for us to think about my project in terms of goals that should be following these 5 characteristics. Everything that we create following the why, how, and what should have this framework. My goals should be specific. I don't want to help kids. I want to help a specific number of kids in these activities. Very concrete. Measurable. Maybe a number. maybe a survey where we see that they are satisfied, or maybe we are helping, I don't know, in our case we were helping them to pass some exams. So of course one of our measurements was, I don't know if my students are failing or not the exam, so that was a measure, no? Maybe another measurement is how many people do you have in your projects, or how happy they are. Okay, but something that tells you that you are going in a good direction. Achievable. They have to be realistic, please. It's very important. Sometimes we go the other way around. No, sometimes we are super specific and we forget about the transcendent part. But sometimes we go super idealistic. I want to change the world. I want to make everyone happy. I want to transform the planet so that we are living in a paradise that everything is green. Okay, well, begin with your trash can in your kitchen. Achievable. Okay. Relevant, because it has to move you and your team, like you are solving an important problem. And time bound. Everything that you do, you are doing it on a specific time. We are well, the Greek philosophers, they would say something like this: human beings are slaves of father time. And you would say, well, maybe not slaves, but that's our scenario. No, everything that we do is time bound. So whatever we are planning something, remember, when do you want it? What do you want to do first, then second, then third? Always. This is helpful. Why? Because you can measure your impact, you can evaluate what is going on and the good things, the bad things, and you can improve. So let me show an example of how I organized this for the project I was telling you. For example, no? Let's talk about this goal. Specific. Reach 150 kids with our after school program. It was a number, that's it. Specific. I could even go more specific, between 9 and 14 years, or from this neighborhood, or etc. Specific. Measurable. 150 kids, 5 days a week for 2 hours at least. Okay, so now we go more specific even. Achievable. What resources do we have to make this possible? So for example, in this case, we were having 20 volunteers, we were having the space. No, it's not only about the people. We were having space. We were having the support of a local university. We were having a place with books and toys and musical instruments. We were having a dining room. We were not having sports installations. We were not having a court. So we were playing in a park that was nearby. Okay, we solve it, but it's achievable. Relevant. What is the problem that is like in the back of all these activities? I was telling you, no, the risk of dropping school and the joining gangs. These two were the two specific problems or risks that we knew that they were presenting. So that's why we should be acting in a relevant way towards this topic. And time bound. How many, for how long? In our case, it was like, okay, at least 150 for the end of the school year. So 90 and a half, and then the rest in June, for example. You have a framework. And this is actually very helpful because it's relaxing you. If you tell me, Adan, you have to help 150 students with your after school program, I will be like, 150, where do I go? I don't know. But if you tell me, no, don't worry, no, you have this time. You have to begin the next month, you have to prepare the plan. The second month, you have to promote it in the schools. The third month, you begin with the classes. The fourth month, and you go little by little, little by little. And with this, you relax and you focus on the important things. Okay. So this is a way of organizing our goals. First, you have the why, how, what. Then you can create, and please copy everything that I'm sharing with you. I will send you this this PDF presentation so that you have the examples of the table of the frames. Use them because it's very simple to understand that everything we do, we can put it in the smart frame. I don't know if you have any question about this. I think it's pretty self-explanatory and important. If we don't do this, none of our projects will be working. Okay, so please take the pictures that you need, take the comments that you need. And now we go to one of my most favorite topics in everything that I do when I'm teaching, the part of, what is this? The part of connecting with people. Because, and as Carlos Llanos said, the success of any project, and he was talking about companies, he was talking about governments, he was talking about educational programs, missionary programs, social service, whatever. The success of any project derives from the connection between people. Connection between people. This guy, Carlos Llano, Mexican philosopher and businessman, he was my professor. He was my guru growing up. Unfortunately, he passed away in 2010. And I'm sure he's in heaven because he was such a nice guy. He was taking this quote that I'm telling you, the connection between people, in a very, very serious way. Imagine, I don't know, he was a guy that was a member of the board of many companies, a professor writing so many books, traveling all over Europe and Latin America to deliver lectures and so on. And even then, if you would see him walking the university, he will stop. He will ask you, hello, Adan, how was your brother? You told me last time we talked that your brother was having this little problem. How was he? And it was like, come on, this guy, I'm sure he has way more important things to do than to think about my family and my brother. And I talked with him 3 months ago. And even with that, he was having this memory. He would be writing little notes on every person that he would be talking to. Impressive, really, for me and for many in our community, in my university. We would consider this guy a saint because he was a very nice person. He was full of the spirit. Of course, his faith was, he was very transparent and sharing his faith with everyone that was surrounding him. So this is the idea. It doesn't matter if you are very intelligent, if you are, you have all the connections to make money or to organize a very specific project. If you don't connect with people, it won't be possible. So let's think, how do we connect in a better way with people? And for that, let me tell you something that, I don't know, for me was very funny. A social experiment that people from the University of Washington organized with this guy. This guy is Joshua Bell. He's a very famous violinist. And they invited him, the people from this university, they invited him to take part in a social experiment. He played in an auditorium one day. I don't know. I think it was Thursday, no? Yeah, Thursday, because on Friday okay. On Thursday, he was playing in this big auditorium. More than the 3,000 people clapping, like listening to him, completely obsessed with the way this guy was playing. And the next day, he put these normal clothes, like a t-shirt, a baseball cap, and he went to play in the entrance of the subway, in the metro station, where people were rushing, coming and going, and that's it. And almost no one stopped to listen to him. He was completely ignored. He was playing with the same violin. He was playing the same music that was playing the night before. But the night before, people were paying dollars, hundreds of dollars to go and listen to him. And in the subway, in the metro station, in the public transport, I think only a kid stopped a little bit, like, mom, he's playing violin. And the mom is like, come on, let's go. We're in a rush. What happened? The person was the same, the violin was the same, The music was the same. What changed? Everything else. The context, the clothes, the attention, the connection with people. When you go to a concert, well, it's easy to connect with the band or the people that are talking or playing, no, because they are in front of you, and you go to listen to them. But in the when you're in the busy street, of course you cannot stop and listen to the people. So what's going on? Everything changed, but the person. This social experiment is to show us that even if we have all the good ideas, even if we have all the information very clear in our minds, if we don't have this connection, we won't be able to persuade people, to connect with people, to invite them to join to our project, to join our cause, to sell the things that we need to sell, or to make the fundraising as to ask for the support that we need. We need to connect. How do we connect? This is where I talk about one of the love of my life, Aristotle. Maybe sometimes my wife gets a little bit jealous that I'm talking a lot of Greek philosophers, but well, I'm a philosopher, so I have to talk about these guys. Aristotle gave us the three keys to persuasion, and he wrote this book, I don't know, it was like 2,500 years ago. So, very long time ago. And from then, he discovered that to convince someone, to connect with someone, you need three main strategies. You need, of course, the ideas, the logic, of course. You need very specific information, good arguments, etc. But not only that, you need to move the emotions of the people. You need to show them why do you care, why they should care about what you are telling them. The purpose that we were talking at the beginning. And then in the third part, you need to show them why they should be trusting you. How can they belong to your project? That to show them that you are not there to sell them something or to impose them something, but to invite them to be part of a project. And of course, we are missionaries. We know these things. We know that, for example, faith cannot be imposed. We have to invite people. Well, the same with our projects. So what do? We have strategies for these main three topics. Okay, let me give you some recommendations on some questions that you have the little notes. So the notes for the project we already finished. Now those are the notes for the people. So first, logic. What is the main idea do you want to share? What is exactly the main idea do you want to share? It should be something brief, something specific. We were, for example, here in Mexico, we were creating a nice leaflet to promote our mission as lay Combonian missionaries. No? We were making a leaflet, but unfortunately it was super long, super big with many things, and it was not very clear, and we are redesigning it. It was even like a book, no? And people, they don't want to read all of the things that we have to be specific. That's why I put you this bull's eye, or this like arch throwing with the arrow and so on, because we have to be specific to hit the center. What's the main idea you share? And of course, give the arguments of why this information is relevant. What are your main arguments? What are your main reasons? Remember to be clear, to be organized. So if you have there your little papers, please answer these ideas. What's the main content that you want to share? Why this information is relevant? Why why is your information logical? Arguments. We want you to support our project because we are attending these many people. Okay. We are solving this problem. We will use your money to buy these water purification tanks. Okay, specific. measurable, concrete, clear and organized. Second, let's move the emotions. I feel you, bro. Sorry for putting a meme here, but I'm used to teach in high school also, so I need to use these memes and these kind of images on the internet. We need to move the emotions. We need to feel the concerns of the people. That's why I'm telling you, I really like to have conversation and since some of you have the camera open, it's very nice because we see each other, we know we answer to each other faces and so on. It's important to be listening to what are the emotions or the motivations of the people. How do we respond to the dreams and fears? For example, if you're asking people for some money, what's the main fear of someone that is giving you money? Maybe you can help me to answer this. What would be a fear that a person that is giving you money would be experimenting? What do they fear when they give you money? What do you think? Maybe you have experience on this. Come on, you have more experience than I do in these topics. Come on. What are the worries that people have whenever you're asking them for some support? Maybe, for example, I don't know, in my experience, they are worried that their money is not going to the beneficiaries, but it stay in the, I don't know, in the association. Or maybe they are worried because they don't know what are you going to be doing with the money or with the support. Or maybe they don't know how to help you. They are very good people, but they don't know how to help you. So how do I become an empathetic leader? Well, when I show them how to help me, when I show them, well, we're using your support, your money, your donation for this project, when I continue communicating my thing. And that's when they feel that they are being taken care of. And this feeling, that is not an idea. This feeling, it's what will motivate them to keep helping me and keep being part of the project. How do you want them to feel when I'm working with you? And then, of course, credibility, and that's why I put you a beautiful photograph from an orchestra and with the director in the conductor, sorry, the conductor in the front. All of the musicians, they trust the conductor. We can agree on this, no? Like if the conductor gives a specific indication, they will follow. But also the conductor has to believe, has to trust in the musicians, because the conductor is not playing all the instruments. He has to give the power to them so that they play in the best way possible. He has to trust the ability, the capacity of the others. So why should they trust you with your money, with their money, or maybe inside your team? I don't know, if I tell someone, please help me to do this, no, like someone that is working in my project, why should they follow my lead? Maybe because I have the experience, maybe because I know better, because I have the vision, because I'm motivated, because I'm an example. Remember that nothing is more trustworthy and persuasive than the example, the giving the example with your life. So why should they trust you? How do you adapt to their specific concerns and communication style? Maybe, I don't know, maybe the donors are expecting a nice letter where you thank for all the support. But maybe they want you to invite them, or maybe they want you to give them some souvenir of the project that you are developing. Okay, understand their style. How do you make them belong to the project? It's not only okay, you give me something, you help me with something, and that's it. No, make them belong. Because if not, it will happen like the stonemasons that we were saying in the beginning. No, one of them, I'm picking stone. The other, I'm following orders. But the third one was really feeling part of this beautiful, magnificent project. I'm glorifying God with my work. That's what we are missing, and that's what we need. The credibility that I'm part of something bigger. So be open, be humble, be present, be there. And with all of this said, let's go to the synthesis. Let's go to a little framework that I'm suggesting you to synthesize everything, all the tasks, all the main purpose, how to organize the things, all my objectives in a smart way, and of course the strategy that I follow to explain myself, to connect with others, to move their emotions, to help them feel that they are part of my project, the belonging. And when I saw this, when I remember this quote from the gospel, I thought in the beginning it was too tough, but then it's like, no, come on. First, is Jesus telling us to be shrewd, to be smart, to be wise, to be resourceful. No, this Jesus was telling his apostles this specifically before he sent them. I don't know if you remember, no, before he sent them two by two to go all around Judea. And it's funny because he's not telling them, don't worry, it's okay. No, no, he's telling them, things are going to be difficult. I'm sending you like sheep in the midst of wolves. So the things are going to be difficult. And we know that the way of the cross is not a way of commodities or comfort. The way of the cross is a way of suffering. Yes. So be shrewd, have resources, learn, study, have a strategy, but at the same time, be innocent. Do not make harm. Have an open heart. Have a transparent purpose. Be benevolent. So it's not that serpents are bad and doves are good, or serpents are smart and doves are dumb. No, serpents are resourceful. When they are hunting, they move, they see, they calculate, and doves, they represent the flight, the freedom. We have to be a balance of both. And if not, remember what Jesus did. He was smart enough to teach people through parables, through examples, through, like symbols. He was very, very smart. Come on. He's the Son of God. He was super smart. But he was having this nice strategy like, no, don't say yet that I'm the Messiah. Wait a little bit. He had this strategy. He was picking his apostles, his 12 apostles, in a very specific way. I will choose someone that will help me with this. I will choose someone that will help me with that. No, he was super, super smart, shrewd, resourceful, and at the same time, of course, innocent, benevolent. So, how do we synthesize everything that we have been talking about? I'm presenting you, maybe you knew it already, the famous business canvas model. Look, in the left side of your screen, you see all the like the slots that we can fill in relating to the purpose. What are my key activities? That's the what, remember? What do we need to do what we need to do? With whom we need to have an engagement, key partners. How much do I have to pay to do what I do? Cost structure. Then in the center here, when it says value propositions, what do you think should be going? The why. The why, this is what you are offering to the people, and of course the how. But the why is here, value propositions. And then in the other side, people. How do you relate with people? How do you build customer relationship? And when I say customer, is not only about a business where you sell things. Maybe it's the beneficiaries of our project. So maybe not customer, but yes, beneficiaries. Or maybe donors. Okay, the channels, and how do I get revenue? How do I get maybe not profit, but funds to continue doing what I do? Okay, if we manage to organize everything that we do in this model canvas, we will have a picture, a photograph in a flash of everything that we need to do, to organize, to follow my purpose and to connect with people. And don't worry, because here's this is like in a small way, but in a bigger way. Let me put it, and let me put the title in the chat so that you can search for whichever version that you want. In internet is very easy to find. You put in Google Canvas business model and you will have it. And it's free to use. It's a PDF that you can download. There are many versions so that you can have it in your language. Actually, I was using this in Spanish for a long time, but it's in Italian, it's in Polish. I found it in Polish yesterday when I was preparing this. So you will have it in your language. And I like this one that I'm sharing with you, though it's not very big, but they put the title and then little questions, no? Key partners, no? Who are the key partners? What do they do? What are their resources? Blah, 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 blah. This is a way of synthesizing everything that we were doing. And that's why I was asking you to answer these questions in little papers. Because now that you have little papers, you can print, or you can put the canvas, no, in a table, and then you put the paper here and then the paper on the other side, and then maybe you move it, no? When you put how do I connect with people, maybe you have a little paper that says my donors prefer a telephone call than a WhatsApp message. Okay, where do I put this little paper where it says channels? Because I know that my channels of communication should be through phone instead of WhatsApp. Something as simple as that. Or for example, key activities, the one of the project that I was telling you, no? Key activities, dinner, help with homework, and maybe sports and artistic activities. Okay, I have it there, 4 activities specific. Key resources, what do I need to do this? Well, I need donations of food. I need tables, chairs. I need notebooks. I need volunteers that can help the kids with their homework, and I need a music teacher. Okay, that's what I need. Key partners, who can help me? In our case, it was the nearby university, because their students needed to make these social service hours. So we made this partnership in a very nicely way. How much is this costing? Okay, to have the meals for 20 or 50 students, we need these many, I don't know, sandwiches or something, and then you make the cost. And in the other side, who is helping you? Who is helping you? The donations. Maybe you made a nice campaign showing the activities that you did the last year, so people are, like very into this, and you can organize these things. So I will send you this presentation. Of course, I'm putting in the chat the name of the. I already put in the chat the name of the of this business model in the way of a canvas. Very easy to use. And if you follow this along with the questions that I gave it to you along the presentation, I believe that it would be a nice way to organize what you already have, or maybe to create something that you don't have, in a way that is answer purpose, to a belief, to a main motivator that is in the center of your group or your team or your parish, etc. And this project being translated into activities that actually connect with people. Because, and I'm repeating myself, but I want to be very emphatic in this mindset, any project that wants to be successful need a deep, engaging, and transcendental purpose, and a way of connecting with people, purpose and people. And with this being said, thank you so much for your attention. I took a little bit more time than the plan, but well, it was a nice conversation. And of course, I'm here to answer whatever question that we have. Maybe 10 minutes of well, 5-10 minutes of a nice conversation. If you have any doubts, you can talk to me in English, Spanish, even in Italian if you talk very slowly, and then maybe we can be able to cover this thing. Thank you so much. I leave there my email if you want to maybe write me, or Adan, I didn't remember what you were talking about this thing. Of course, I will share you some material, or maybe you have a nice experiences that you want to share with everyone. It will be even better. So please let's talk a little bit, because come on, you should be boring yourselves for with me only talking. So let's hear some voices. What do you think? Do you have questions? Do you want to share some nice ideas that you have like with your projects? Tell us. Our beautiful team in Kenya, you're there. If you have an idea, Rosa Micaela, you have something. Maybe Jose, Linda. I saw Linda that was talking and very active throughout the meeting. So also, if you want to share something with us, there in the Capel, in Calle la Capel, Leo, si ya pudiste escucharlo de español, por supuesto conversamos acá. Okay, then. So maybe we can wrap up. I will be sending you, Alberto, this presentation in PDF so that it's easy for everyone to open it and use it freely. Please use it freely. Share it with whomever you think it would be wise to share it with your teams. And of course, I'm here to help. Please, Rosa, Micaela, please.
Ay. Buenas, ma io ho una domanda diretta perché muchas veces nel gruppo, io hablo del gruppo un po' in generale qua in Italia, no? Che abbiamo questa domanda di base, si dicono, siamo pochi, siamo da tanti anni che facciamo la solita cosa, vabbè, non cambierà. Allora io dico, come possiamo fare per mettere in moto questa strategia o questi input che ci hai dato te e che sicuramente questo è una ABC anche in organizzazione scolastica, è molto importante, però come facciamo? Come possiamo affrontare anche internamente il nostro gruppo di motivarli?
E un'altra cosa, è un approccio questo molto aziendale, no? Perché dobbiamo raggiungere degli obiettivi specifici.
Mhm.
Noi però lavoriamo con persone che hanno delle difficoltà
Yeah.
concrete e quindi non dimenticare mai di non tralasciare l'aspetto emotivo delle persone con cui noi ci relazioniamo, perché raggiungere l'obiettivo in un tempo è giusto, in un tempo preciso è giusto,
Mhm.
ma dobbiamo avere, secondo me, sempre una variabile,
Yeah.
perché noi abbiamo a che fare con delle persone
Sí,
e
sí, sí,
secondo me è un dettaglio che non dobbiamo dimenticare.
sí, sí, sí.
Grazie.
Súper, sí. Excellent. Well, capiscono. Let me translate the two questions, and then I will give you the answer, my sisters and brothers. Well, first, they were asking, we are a group with little people, and we have been also working for a long time. How do we apply and how do we change the way that we are working when we have these conditions? No, like a group, a specific group with few people and so on. And then the second comment was like, okay, we're talking about the project, organizing something very specific and with the tasks and so on. But what happens with the people that we are working with? Because there's something that you have to be adaptable, you have to change, you have to take into consideration the emotions of the people that you're working with. It's right, no? Or I got it more or less. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I have to clean up my Italian a little bit. But okay. So for the first question, what do we do when we have a team that has been working for a long time, and maybe we are used to some ideas, and we are few people? I think that the first recommendation that I was giving you with why, the golden circle, it's a nice exercise to do it, because sometimes we believe that this purpose, it's something for a new project, or for when I'm creating a new company or brand or whatever. But sometimes maybe we don't realize that we don't actually agree on the fundaments of our projects, on the core beliefs of what we do. So to have this nice break, to have an opportunity to stop, to actually, I don't know, even it would be a nice recommendation, Rosa and Micaela, to have a weekend where you go to have I don't know, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you stop doing anything, you go to a nice place with activities to relax, of course, prayer, and to have a deep connection with the prayer and the mass and adoration. And then, okay, why? And the why is not something automatic that will appear, because like, especially with groups that have a long history, it's very difficult to have this clarity of mind. So wait and dialogue. What do we want? And of course, when you have a team that has more history, you need a contrast. What have we done? What do we want? Past and future, always contrasting. Because maybe, okay, we have been doing this in this way. Do we continue? Do we want to continue in this way? Is this old way useful for the new challenges that we have? Remember that something that is not adapting, it's actually going down. It's actually the contrary of evolving is dying, if we follow biology. So we have to be evolving all the time. That's why even in big companies that have 200 years old, every 2 or 3 months they have a review of their mission, and every year they have a renovation of the leadership. So it's like to have this clearness of where do we go. So have a place, have a time to stop and dialogue. This is very important. It shouldn't be something imposed. It should be something that is the fruit of a conversation. That would be the first recommendation. Well, for the first question. And for the second question, it's actually following more or less the same. What do we do with the unexpected? With the human nature, that yeah, we may be having these very smart, specific goals, no, specific, measurable, achievable, relatable, relevant, and time bound. But in the end, I don't want to do it. I don't feel like, I got sick, or I have a conflict with the leadership. What do? We use the three main strategies that I was giving you in the second part. If you want to convince someone to do something, you need to give them specific instructions. you need to give them the how, but not only, you need to give them the why. Why is this important? And why is this important for you? Not for me, for you. And what would be the impact? What would be the transcendence of what you are doing? Remember this that I was telling you of the stonemasons, no? I believe that the third one, maybe he was asking the foreman, the leader, but why am I picking the stone in this way and not in the other way? And maybe the leader, he was telling them, oh, no, you are picking the stone in this way because it will be fitting better to have this wall that it will be grow taller, and as taller as they are, it will be supporting this part of the cathedral. Ah, okay. Remember, if we don't get the purpose, we don't make the effort. And I will say this again. If we don't get the purpose, if we don't share the purpose, we don't get the effort. Period. So, how do we deal with people when we are creating these objectives? It's very important that the everyone that is involved in the team has a say in the elaboration of these goals. You cannot arrive with someone and telling him, okay, this is the specific, the smart goal that you have to follow. No. You share with them the why, the how, and the what. And then in dialogue, in conversation, we build the objective. Because maybe I tell them, and this is for real, it happened in this project that I'm telling you. We need to attend 150 students. And my colleagues that were also teachers, they were saying, Adan, come on, we only have 2 hours a day to offer to this project. We cannot achieve this. Okay, so we need these other things. And they were having some other point of view that was helping me to help them develop a nicer goal, something specific, something that is more, that is more possible. We have to think about ourselves like in a flexible way. If we are an oak, you know, the oak, this big tree that is very strong, you could be super strong, but the wind will break it. The more rigid we are, the more susceptible of being broken. Of course, we cannot be also like so flexible that we are super soft and we cannot build something else. We have to be like bamboo. I don't know if you know this tree, bamboo, no? Flexible and firm at the same time. How do we develop flexibility? Dialogue, talking, trying to make agreements. And of course, agreeing in the main base, that is the purpose, the why. Super.
Excuse me, José, excuse me, my bad English, ma speak in Italian. Allora, nella prima parte, molto interessante, Viktor Frank ci dice di avere una visione della nostra vita, che cosa conta davvero, capire il senso di quello che facciamo e della nostra esistenza. E allora mi sono poi interrogato, siccome ho conosciuto i comboniani 35 anni fa, 35 years old, e quindi sono ancora qui a proporre, ma non mi sono mai interrogato di come sono riuscito ad affrontare in maniera, come dire, organizzata un po' il lavoro che facciamo. Anche noi siamo piccoli, siamo di Padova, il gruppo è abbastanza consolidato e come economia abbiamo sempre cercato di dare valore a quello che facciamo, value nel nostro lavoro. Allora, i tempi sono cambiati e giustamente avendo a che fare con tante persone, dobbiamo capire anche come noi possiamo cambiare. e quali sono i nuovi approcci per poter essere più incisivi in quello che facciamo. Quindi la seconda parte, come diceva Rosa, è un aspetto puramente, diciamo così, di organizzazione aziendale, no? Che in una piccola parte potrebbe essere giusto farla per non disperdere le forze. Ok? Quindi ci interroghiamo, cerchiamo di capire come fare per poter essere più, come dire, incisivi. La società è cambiata e anche noi dobbiamo cercare in qualche modo di cambiare, di adattarci. Come possiamo fare, al di là del fatto di dare valore a quello che facciamo?
Okay, okay. If I get the grazie, Jose. If I get the question, how do we because he was telling us, no, he's part of this group in Padova, like more than 35 years of being part of the Combonians. Of course, he's completely institutionalized and so on, but the times are changing. Times are
Yes.
changing. How do we become ourselves very specific to answer to the needs of the time, and giving value to what we do? Is it okay, more or less, what I understand?
Yes.
No? So I would say the same thing that I was recommending in the first part, no? Because Viktor Frankl was saying to have this vision of life, as you were commenting, no? To have this vision of life, we have to have the same in our projects. The vision, he explains later on in his book, the vision of your life cannot be something completely fixed and not flexible. It has to be broad. It has to be transcendent, challenging. That's why, come on, we are in the in this way of answering to the gospel. So it's something very broad, no? But it would be asking, imagine that we're doing the same, but maybe not with your team, but with the people that you are helping. What's their purpose? How do they work? What do they do? What are their logic or their reasons to say or do what they do? What are their emotions? How do they give you their trust? So like do exactly the same that we are doing for our teams, but since you already have a team that is working very well, but now like the other side of the coin, what are they doing, their vision, their purpose? And this, it's only with connection and talking a lot, because sometimes we believe that our work is so important that we don't need anyone else.
Yes.
And that's the mistake that we have sometimes.
Thank you. Okay.
No? So do exactly the same, but with the people that you are attending. Maybe choose some other things. Some marketing companies, they say the focus group. Okay, we have been helping you for these many years. What are your comments on what we do? What could we change? Be open to dialogue. That would be a nice way of
Thank you.
tackling this. No, thank you, Joseph. I hope I'm understanding everything and answering everything.
Yes.
Super. Okay, well, if there's nothing else, I was so pleased to be with you this morning, in some cases this afternoon, even this evening with some of you, sisters and brothers. There's my contact if you want to keep up with the conversation. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for being here. And Alberto, I don't know if you can lead us in a nice prayer to close this beautiful opportunity we had in this moment.
Well, in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Thank you, Lord, for gathering this afternoon together. All that we want to do is to follow you, whatever is your path. We try to do this for your glory. So glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen.
Amen.
The Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's possible to have the registration, yes?
Yeah, we'll try.
Yes, the
The
recording.
last time what I did it, I will receive it and then I will put it in our international blog, so everybody can take it. It's accessible for everyone.
Super.